When a political leader creates a government office for religious freedom, history tells us to be very, very skeptical. Is this really about freedom or control? My name's Eric Feltus. I'm a life coach who helps other gay men free themselves from religious shame. I know a thing or two about how religion can be used as a tool for both healing and harm. I've seen firsthand how religious rhetoric can be weaponized to control people. And that's why we need to take a hard look at what Trump is really doing here. Because this isn't about religious liberty, it's about Christian nationalism. And history has shown us just how dangerous that can be. Let's talk about what Trump is actually proposing. Because if you only listen to his speech, it might sound like he's fighting for religious freedom. But when you dig deeper, you start to see the real agenda. Trump wants to create a new federal office inside the White House, supposedly to protect religious liberty. This sounds nice, right? But here's the problem. America already has laws that protect religious freedom. The First Amendment guarantees it. Courts have upheld it. So why does Trump think we need a whole new government office for it? The answer is control. When politicians start blending government with religion, they aren't trying to protect all beliefs. They're trying to enforce one belief system. Now let's talk about the task force Trump wants to create. Again, this sounds harmless. Who doesn't want to protect religious people from discrimination? But if you look at Trump's track record, it becomes clear that this is really about Christian nationalism. When Trump talks about religious liberty, he's talking about the right of Christians to impose their beliefs onto others. We saw this play out in 2018 when Trump created a similar task force under the Department of Justice. What did they do? Instead of protecting religious minorities, they focused on defending Christian business owners who refuse to serve LGBTQ plus people. That's not religious freedom. That's religious privilege. And here's where the hypocrisy becomes obvious. Trump claims he's protecting all religions, but his actual policies tell a different story. Under his presidency, Trump's Muslim ban blocked people from Muslim-majority countries from entering the U.S. He attacked Native American religious rights, shrinking sacred land protections for tribes. He targeted Jewish communities, calling neo-Nazis in Charlottesville very fine people, while refusing to condemn rising anti-Semitic hate crimes. If Trump really cared about religious freedom, wouldn't he have fought for all religious groups, not just conservative Christians? But it doesn't stop there. Trump also expanded Christian influence inside the government itself. He stacked federal courts with conservative Christian judges who are now ruling in favor of religious exemptions that allow discrimination, particularly against the LGBTQ plus people. So let's be clear. This isn't about protecting religious freedom. It's about using government power to push one religion above all others. And if that sounds familiar, it's because history has seen this playbook before. Nazi Germany promoted positive Christianity to align the church with the state, while suppressing Jews and other religious groups. Fascist regimes often create government-backed religious offices to prop up one religion and marginalize others. Trump's strategy mirrors this approach, elevating Christianity under the guise of freedom, using religion as a political weapon rather than a personal belief system, and making people believe they are under attack to justify government intervention. But what does real religious liberty look like? Well, the First Amendment, which protects true religious freedom. The government should be neutral, not promoting one religion over others. The separation of church and state is there to protect everyone, including Christians. If Trump truly cared about religious freedom, we'd see federal protections for mosques, synagogues, and minority faiths, condemnation of Christian nationalist violence, and equal representation of all faiths in government, not just Christianity. The reality? This is about power, not protection. Let me reiterate this warning. When politicians create religious offices, it's not about freedom. It's about control. We've seen this play out in history, and we know where it leads. So what can we do about it? Stay informed. Question the narrative being pushed. Don't just take politicians at their word. Look at their actions. Speak up. Christian nationalism thrives when people stay silent. Call it out when you see it. Support real religious freedom. That means backing organizations fighting for the rights of all faiths, not just one. Call your state representatives and senators. One of the most powerful things that you can do is call your representatives and demand that they uphold the separation of church and state. Tell them to oppose any policies that elevate one religion over another, to protect LGBTQ plus rights, reproductive rights, and religious minorities from laws based on religious doctrine. Tell them to defund government initiatives that promote Christian nationalism under the guise of religious freedom. And finally, you can share this video. If this resonated with you, help spread the message. This issue affects all of us. And at the end of the day, just remember that we are all in this together.